one of those episodes where when you prepare for hitting the 50 mark on YouTube, that's big. Yeah. That's something I've only dreamed of in my head, but today I'm actually 5 episodes away from hitting 50. 5 and 0. Those episodes started to engage in more of the what's happening around us, and then that's when I started bringing games, the general games. Wow, what an experience that has become. Whoa!
I was just torn between two things, a struggle in physics and computers. So what I was still and still planning to do is either do astrophysics first or computer science or computer engineering first, and then get into the other one because I want to study quantum computers and just do the most because I'm very interested in that field of study.
Connect with them the suppliers for the Saudi
Oh.
So yeah, then kita tell more until we because now for next one so
Nice.
Then you gon' die and the girls won't cry. Me and K-Dog in the black Cadillac, riding up steam to the black family. You ain't gotta pull up keys, you be riding with G's. Girls won't lie when they make Swiss cheese. Up with your girl in the bay, oh yeah, she be hitting on the black shit, nigga, okay. Nigga don't be sliding on me when I got that shit, she be vibing on me. High on the low as we boost that ego, flow on the dash as we hit that kilo. Bang bang, niggas gon' drop, they ain't gon' stop when we smash it on that zero.
Hello, it was Sukasi back again with another episode of OG's Unplugged. And episode 45, guys. Episode 45. First of all, I want to thank you to each and every one of you who's subscribing to Vista, the great channel. You subscribing means that I'm actually doing something that people are resonating towards, something that people want to see, because this is Kasi content, and I'm here to give you the best of Kasi. I'm here to give you stories that you don't know. I'm here to give you content that you might have missed, so that you can catch up with Kasi. But to start this EP off, you know, it wouldn't be possible without the passion and the drive that one has to speak these stories, to tell these raw and authentic life stories of different people. And I also want to congratulate myself for launching the new show, man. You know, the Vista and Friends show, it's one of those shows that I wanted to do for a long time, and I had the content for a long time, and I just didn't know how to do it. So I thank myself for having the creative nick to come up with the intro, because the amazing thing was the intro. I got stuck on the intro for some time, so hence the delay. And I want to thank the guest on that show, Tabiso Stogano, and big ups to him as to be the first episode on a new show. I'm sure it wasn't an easy thing to do, but his story is one of those beautiful stories that I'll say. You know what, as a person and as a podcaster, you know, growth is coming. Growth is seen through that interview that I did with him. So shout out to him for making sure that at least I have the first episode, and also the list is growing in terms of the people that I'm going to be bringing you on that show, guys. But now to episode 45, the journey of Vista the Great. It's been one hell of a journey, guys. To do more than 45 interviews, it's not easy. That thing, I'll tell you that it's not easy. To be a production house on your own, it's not easy, but it's a learning curve. You know, one of the things that I read is that you know, at some point, it's a quote from a Chinese sword master, Musashi Miyamoto. He says that everything at first is difficult, because I'm paraphrasing it because I don't think I remember it well, but he says that in the beginning everything is difficult at first, because you're starting it, so it's supposed to feel difficult, it's supposed to be difficult. So I'm glad I was able to be this consistent and still have this passion to produce more content, because to get to 45 episodes, as this will be the 45th episode that I'll be dropping week in and week out, so meaning I've literally given you guys content for 45 weeks, each week, without missing a week, without having to say, nah, we don't have content for this. So the work that goes in behind, it's huge, it's an amazing work. And throughout all of this, I want to thank the people who've come onto the show, who've shared their stories, because one of the challenges that I've been facing is that you'd go to casting, I'll go to casting, have a pre-scheduled interview, and when I get there, all of a sudden, this person doesn't want to do an interview, this person is what, they're not sure of the story, and mind you, for me, sometimes I cancel those that are close to me so that I can capture other stories that are steady. So for those of you guys who want me to go to the Eka Slave, it's good that I want to go to those cases and tell the raw stories that day. But it's difficult because I'm a Grotman, I'm a sister. Some people just don't want to share their stories. And also there's this mentality of being paid, because I came across a guy who wanted me to pay him for telling his story. And remember also, guys, it's like this. I'm sharing the audience that I've created on my own words and everything based on their story. So you want me to pay you for you to tell your own story. I'm like, guys, so those are the types of challenges that I come across. Like I say, the challenges of having pre-scheduled meetings and then all of a sudden they cancel a day or on the day of when I'm supposed to shoot. So those are the things that I've been facing lately. But you learn as you go. You learn to also, as a person, you become bigger than that. You tell yourself, you know what, at some point you still get someone else. Someone will come and share their story, because it's not an easy journey. It's something healing for it. I do this for the love of it and for the passion I have, guys. It's because and I want to tell the stories that come out of it, because if you can check in terms of where we are today, most of they've gone out and they've achieved big things. So for us to motivate the other generations that come after, those stories need to be told. They need to be told by the people who've lived those journeys. So for those that I've interviewed, big ups to you guys, and thank you very much for making sure that we give people content each and every week. As I'm saying, it's one of those episodes where when you prepare for hitting the 50 mark on YouTube, guys, that's big. That's something I've only dreamed of in my head, but today I'm actually 5 episodes away from hitting 50. 5 and 0, which is something that is big and consistently so, and the passion is still fire, I'm still fire, I can never go away. So that's a journey that I want to speak about. And if you can look at the past 3 episodes that I've uploaded so far, I've changed it from speaking to a macro man who's been to prison and what, because I wanted to open this space up for businesses, for entrepreneurs, for people who are doing more than we can think we know. People who are actually contributing to small things, those small victories that people say, because the upcoming 5 episodes up until episode 50, they're great interviews. I've chatted with guys in softwares, I've spoken with people in tech. I'm aligning different kinds of conversations where I'm giving you something that is different from what I've been doing. But in terms of the basic of it is telling the raw stories sasekasi. It's telling the stories of the normal people we see every day. It's telling the stories of those heroes and heroines sasekasi who are able to save lives. But my concern also, it's also the concern of the female part of it, you know. It's not easy to get female people to come on the podcast to share their stories, guys. So if you're willing to come and come on, let us talk. I want to share your story because I've interacted with some, but luckily enough, there's a lady who's agreed to come and share a story, but it's not gonna come now, so that's a big surprise. So big ups to her in terms of agreeing to come. The timing is not right for you, but basically as the year goes, you exukala. So I thank them for that. Going back to building these show and the last 15 episodes, the last 10 episodes, you guys. If we look at it, episode 36, it was episode. Let me go and check on it. Episode 36. Episode 36 was Z Selom Khese. Wow. What an interview. That guy, I knew him through the dancing Milano days. Hey, I used to jive. Shapali is into Zakona, guys. Basically, I was part of this group called Milan. Back in the days, in the 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think the group we started growing apart and growing apart and opportunities game. I remember in 2010, I started going to college back then. That was my first year in college, so we slowly grew apart because of outgrowing the group itself and having opportunities, and others were going to school. So Selom Khese, wow, what a guy, man. That guy, if you check his episode, it's episode 36. That out man, he still knows how to dance, man. He still knows how to dance. He's a beautiful soul. He's a guy where I enjoyed that interview because there's a part there. I was with my nephew that I learned so much in terms of his history, in terms of how he still resonates with jiving and all of those things that accompany us. So big ups to him for at least having to come to our show to share his story, which was big for us, guys. And as we move from that on, guys, I started also integrating a lot of content within the show. I think from that on, I started integrating a lot of shows. I started attending sporting activities, which made me actually tested the range that I have, because I woke up with the concept of creating content. I can tell you now that when I wake up, the mission is clear. It's to create content. Content as a gas. That's it. When I get it in the form of sports, when I get it in the form of politics, when I get it in whatever form it comes, my intention is to create that content. And to make sure that I put it in a fashion that you, as the people who are watching, will enjoy it. So that's when I started coming to terms in terms of, I need to move differently now. I need to start creating things. And it led me up to actually posting episode 37, which was Spoiler. Wow. Big ups to Spoiler, man. Big ups to you, my guy. That interview of yours, it was an interview I did before I became this consistent in terms of content creation. So it was one of the first few episodes I recorded, and within that episode you can tell so it's one of those episodes where after watching it, and I've learned that sometimes when you go on a podcast and you want to do a recording, you just be natural, man. Be natural. don't have to fight, or you don't have to all the other things. You just become who you are and then do you. So I learned that so much through here, and then also I think in terms of him, he's grown as a guy apart from that episode, because we've engaged after that. I think he still owes us a part 2 where now we check in terms of spoiler the family man, spoiler the other essence. So I will invite him back on the show so that we can have a more relaxed discussion, because that one feels like it was more on, it was like mainstream TV like Killer One, and we don't want to do mainstream TV like, man. We want to be free. It's a podcast. This is YouTube, man. So those are one of those episodes where after watching them you learn with okay, this is where you need to grow and learn certain things. So hence I'm saying that those episodes started to engage in more of the what's happening around guys, and then that's when I started bringing games, the general games. Wow, what an experience that has become. Whoa, but before we get there, let's continue in terms of when I went to episode 38. Episode 38, that's my first ever episode. I recorded it with my cousin, my source, big ups to her. Recorded it in Grassland, Bloemfontein. That's my first ever podcast recording. I didn't know that I'd get to this level, but back then, she was the idea to say she wanted to do a podcast. I remember when we spoke, she wanted to do a podcast in terms of youth, young people in those environments, after matric, we were having a lot of discussions there, because at the time, I was still part of Sisanda Tech. I'm wearing their neck, so I'm still part of the team. The company was doing great things, so she started that conversation to say she wanted to do a podcast. And I was told the same thing that I was told by a friend of mine, to say, if you want to do something, just do it. Just do it. Especially when you come to want to do something that is based on recording yourself or doing something that is content based. Just do it and give it to the people. The people will give you the feedback. Then you'll slowly learn in terms of how do you actually maneuver those spaces. Because by doing that, that's when you actually learn. So for me, episode 38 was one of those great episodes that were in my archives that I thought, you know what, let me give this episode to the people. The people need to come and see this. So when I did that one, wow, man, it was, you spoke about a lot of things. You can go to the episode, it's there. That's when I started to see, okay, that one does have a potential to do certain things. It went from there, and then after that, I started dropping. The episode that comes after more was wow. It was one of the landmarks that showed me that, all you need to do is to engage with people. I started to enhance myself in terms of the skill that I have in terms of interaction with people, because episode 39 was the banger. Coach Face Dilotwan, the current coach of the General FC. Wow. Go to his episode, guys, episode 39. Learn about how his journey came along for him to be where he is. He's the only coach now I know, personally, who I can say I've seen his journey personally. I've interacted later. He also says that I think he's the only guy who's been to the net bank twice, last 16, twice, with different teams, 2 of them from the same cast. So big ups to Coach Festi on his success, and not only him, but big ups to his technical team, all the guys who are involved within the team. Also big ups to the players, man, because the effort that they put in puts them there. Big ups to also the 2 chairmen of the General FC for making sure that we get a chance to go back to the stadiums. I went to 2 of those games, guys. The last 16 match versus Madridistas when they won 2-0. And the last 32 match when they played against Madridistas. Wow. Well, what an environment. Wow. You know, when you've missed the football for so long, because it reminded me of the days when I used to stay in Bloom when I was in high school. I stayed with Uhrut Malam, a bigger one, go Rockland. So where we stayed, it wasn't far away from it was back then. It was called I forgot the name now. Now it's called Petrus Molemela Stadium. Back then I think it was called Cesar Ramabodu. Yes, it was called Cesar Ramabodu Stadium. So man, I used to attend matches there because I was so near. But it was too strict. Tagalakwali, you cross the street, and then yes, Cesar Ramabodu, which is now Petrus Molemela Stadium. And wow, the nicest thing about those days and what the general game in the netbank did was it actually showed that people really do miss football in the Free State, man. We do miss that environment stadium, you know. You can see on social media a lot of things are being shared. Like, it actually showed also the growth that has happened throughout the province, because from those games you can actually see that so many people are creating content. So much people are creating content. There's guys who are taking beautiful pictures. History was made throughout these last 2 games of the netbank that the general gave us, because a lot of people were able to create a lot of income, even though some of us now would have wished those games could have been played at our own Kaizer Sebotela Stadium. You can imagine the type of environment that would have been, man. But because of things that are beyond our control as the supporters and as the lovers of football, at least we were given a chance to watch it near. So the first game on the Madrid's game, wow, what a beautiful game. I went there to create content. There's also videos that I've put up I've taken content from there that I've actually put up, so you can check it out there as people of the Free State came in numbers to come and cheer the boys on. So as I say, that made me actually understand how coaching works, because the conversation with Coach Festi also, it was an enlightening one, because it was also the first time I speak to a coach who's actually, you know, there, who's above there, you know. It was my first time speaking to a close-up coach to that level, and I learned a lot about him. What a beautiful soul. Wow. Cool, calm, doesn't shout, doesn't do much. What a beautiful soul. And I thank him for also the opportunity for me to tell his story on our platform. And as I believe that there's more to tell in terms of what happened to his journey, which is part of the content that's going to be coming in 2024. Also, I'm looking at around in terms of the people around here, you know, which is one of the episodes that's going to come. Tasa Hueman King, my guy there, he's the assistant there, still coming on the show to come and tell his story. So big ups to them for making us proud. We knew that the TS Galaxy game was going to be a mountain to climb. We knew that. But big ups to them for just giving us, reminding us that we are still here. The Siwelele fans are still here. Because what that showed was that Siwelele is still alive, man. Wow. Some are saying they're still alive because I've recently dropped 5-part content in terms of the vibe that was there, the vibe, man, the environment, the mood, the people, and how that felt like. So that was huge, guys. So it was something out of this world. I think it was because people missed football for so long, and to be in that environmental space. It was an amazing environment to be in. And big ups to, like I said, big ups to the chairman, Fruit Marada. Thanks for reviving that, for telling us that football is still alive and we need to pay much attention to it. Which goes to episode 40. Woo! Yeah, that, you know how those episodes, the two episodes 40 and 41, they came about because my aunt from Virginia was here in Butare. No. There was an event happening. No, let me not twist this. No, there was an event happening. Go Virginia, which is my cousin there. Optil Rato, big up to him. He's a counselor at site. He was doing Empoyabadimu. He was doing Empoyabadimu. So my father is his uncle, so he invited him there. And then poof, went there. My figure. I'm like, yeah, haven't been here in a while, man. Missing the vibes, getting the cousins, you know, when you miss the family, those things. So it's the weekend. Hey, time to leave now. Time to go back to cars. I'm like, so lucky enough, when I left with the intention that I was gonna create content during the weekend. Mara, you know, man, you know, Mkomboti will make you sleep next to the bed. So I decided, nah, I'm gonna create content, man, fire here, guys. Boom, Virginia too. So when I get there, I'm like, nah. I actually need to shoot the guys for me. So I take an impulse decision. Mind you, I didn't bring enough clothes. So I'm like, not coming back, I'm staying. Tell my aunt, I'm not coming, I'm not going back to cars. I'm not going back. I'm staying because I want to shoot more content. And I'm staying, I think I stayed for 2 weeks. Yeah, I stayed for 2 weeks. And after that, so lucky enough, when I'm still returned in time, I back to Tavaland, he brought back some of my clothes so that at least, you know, you have something to change, man. Can't be wearing the same clothes. And then he brought back some of the clothes that were there. I interviewed 2 guys. The first one was Tawarasta. Wow, what a guy. The guy, you can tell him into his needs. So I loved what he said because it actually showed that you can, to open a business, it's not something that you must really think hard of. It's something that you need to have a passion for, man. And you need to be persistent and consistent with your thing. Because he opened an internet cafe shop where he does a printing shop, copies and all of that. And what I found, what was amazing was that he actually does supply some of the schools with copies. You know, his shop there, it's in a nice little shaky mukunyana. Not much, they got a smaller, nice printer that can work into his, and it's within a busy street. So everyone who wants to do copies, they go there. Which was something that was amazing to see. On him also, if you watch his episode, which is episode 40, guys, he also details in terms of his dream, where he sees himself after having a painful childhood, you know. Those are some of the things that as a child, some of us have never went through them. We've never experienced such trauma in our lives to say that we get to that point. So his stories are beautiful. That go and watch it yourself, guys. It's within the platform. Episode 40. Amazing story, amazing guy, a business guy in his own right. Because I'm actually, hey, let me not say this one. Episode 41, dude. Godzilla. Yo. Wow, this episode was received very well. Because he's the second guy that I did there. Because mind you, I only interviewed 2 guys from there because of the timelines. And also when you start to move within a new location, you need to make it needs to be so good that a lot of people will come on again in terms of wanting to share their story. But back to me, guys, his story is so beautiful to say that, he lived in an era where the Macautas, the Portugals, he does mention them within his EP. So his EP, episode 40, go check it out, a beautiful story too. He also shares in terms of growing up, being privileged. So you can imagine, you grow up in a privileged family, Model C, attending all these beautiful schools, only to come back to Kasi and be a gangster. Be a gangster. So his story is beautiful in terms of, there's a lot of those common stories from Ekasi too. Because there's also a guy that I know from Ekasi. I'm gonna shoot him. He's gonna come to the show soon. Because his story also, it's one of a similar case where you're privileged from a privileged home, you go to a Model C school where there's all of these things happening. And when they are happening, you get a better education, if you can call it that. You get a better education where you can speak better English, do all the better things than, and then, but you still end up being part of a gang. Still end up doing the things that your parents wanted to take you out of. So his story is a beautiful one that also tells in terms of how to align yourself with friends who can share the same vision. Because also part of these things that I've learned in this journey is that the type of friends you have around you are important in terms of the type of person you become, So big ups to me, Godzilla, for sharing his story. Big ups to also Papiki Mtavarasta for sharing his story. So it also showed that as me also as a channel, I need to go out to other places, which is beautiful to do. So which goes to episode 42, which was Super Mulifi. Grew up with this guy, went to the same primary with Superman. His stories, I think it's a story for years to come. When other kids reflect on it, it will be so powerful that they'll actually see that sometimes wrong decisions come based on associations, or wrong decisions can come from even our own family members. We must not shy away from that, because to be honest, there are those family members who want to see you succeed, and there are those that get jealous. I'll just put it like that, because jealousy can become something that you say that, but how did this one get over there? And mind you, it's not your own fault. Just to do you. So Super Story is one of those that I wish, because he played beautiful football. He was called Surprise Muriri, named after the beautiful Mamelodi Sundowns legend. So for him to end up where he is, whereas when you see the people who were around him went through to other places, to academies and what, and I'd wish for him to actually get better. I wish for him to be sponsored as a coach, man, because what he's doing for these kids, it's something that is big, man. He loves football. He loves football very much. So for those of you who can help him become a better coach, let us put in the effort. Let us make sure that we create something that will benefit kids, because and him also, and he must also realize his dream, because I think him becoming a coach, it's something that we should all assist in terms of putting our efforts, because he is a good guy, man. He's a good guy. It's those certain things that creep in there and there. So I think in terms of his story on his own, go check out his episode also. It's one of those episodes that if you can check it, it's an episode that shows how much of a community we need to support each other, how much we need to be there for those who are struggling, and actually tell these stories. So big ups to Super for coming to our platform and coming to share this. It goes to also episode 43 to Misal. Wow. Hey, I did this episode. I actually did it on a whim. You know, I was like, hey, my guy, boy, I'm diversifying content, man. I want to speak with people in business, and I thank him for having the courage. You know, not most people do have this courage to actually want to be recorded. So I thank him for agreeing to do the shoot and telling his story, because if you find it out, you know, when you are in grade 10 and then your mother passes away and then you've got siblings that you need to take care of, it's not an easy task. Because at the end of the day, you need to go from being a boy to automatically becoming a man and a father to your other siblings. So his journey is one of those stories where it details the struggles or the journey of a black child, you know, and how to create your own hustle. But what I love most about him is the mentality he had in terms of him saying that as a child, he never actually saw himself doing a 9 to 5. So you can imagine if you can live with that concept in our lives. Wouldn't that be great? How many jobs would create? How many entrepreneurial minds would build? So that's the one thing that I love about that EP, was that his mental strength to say that I want to be in this business. I want to push my own hustle. I want to avoid a 9 to 5. I want to create my own legacy. So big ups to him for coming to our platform to share his story. As I said, it's not many people who are willing to come to these shows and share their story. And his was a beautiful one, which leads directly to the episode that came after. Wow, yo! Also with this one, guys, you know, when you move, perhaps that's one of the things that I love about myself, is the fact that I am able to create a conversation with someone I don't know. Just met you and then boom, we can have that conversation. So episode 44 is that episode that shows the kind of individual that I've become ever since I've been on this journey, to say that when you come with good intentions to other people, they'll also reward you by being good to you. Episode 44, Joseph Ndona, Lidimu, so much information came out of that episode that I didn't know. I didn't know that there's this community action trust that's actually having so much opportunities. So for those of you who have businesses, so for those of you who want to be grant funded, want to be supported in terms of what you have, apply, man. His details are on his episode. Check episode 44. His details are there. Email the guy to get the form so that you can apply to be funded for materials and equipment and things that you need, because they are actually doing good. Wow. So he's the project coordinator. Just go check the episode, guys. It's a beautiful episode that I did there, which comes with a lot of information for youth, and it also showcases in terms of when you choose the path of education can also benefit you, you know, because it's also a backlog towards when things go wrong. At least that's part of something that I've learned from Yana to say. He said when he looked at his own life, he was like, I need to go back to school. Now you can imagine dropping everything that you have, the money, the aim, boom, then going back to school. So his episode was a beautiful one where much information was shared. So I'll encourage most of you guys to apply. When you see the Tabo Community Action Trust bike, stop it and say, Funama forms. Funama forms with my love. I want to apply, I want to get funded, I want to be assisted. And remember, they don't give out money. As he says within that, go check it out. He says, obviously the history is there. The history is there of why they don't give it out. So check it out yourself, because I think it's one of the beautiful episodes that I've done as an individual. It also shows growth and how much of things that we actually don't know, guys, which leads to me, guys, which leads to me having the ability to push myself, having the ability to wake up every day. You know, I'm waking up every day to actually have a sense where you like, I push the content. You know, it's something that is big. It's something that that is encouraging because you also get to see the comments of people saying, hey Baba, keep it up, this is good work that you see. You're also telling stories of normal people that we go with, normal people that we see, because the heroes and heroines, those actions are made from small things, guys. So I'm like I say, I thank myself for having the courage to actually take this path and actually make it to where I am today, to having to say that I can literally have a conversation with myself as I give you this EP, because it's not an easy thing to do. One of the things that I've realized is that most people, when they go along these types of journeys, they want validation from other people. You know, when you want, maybe you asking someone, hey, I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. What I've learned is that you need to push yourself to be better than yesterday. Because the guy I am now is much better than the guy yesterday. Because yesterday, I maybe couldn't have recorded this, you know. But I'm glad for having the courage to still wake up, man, to still want to bring you this content, to still want to have these conversations with different people and ordinary, you know. So as part of that, I'm like, it's big ups and it's something that is amazing. It's a journey I'm enjoying. And I'm on episode 45, still pushing the same. The hustle is still the same. Even I can tell you now that the spirit is fire. The spirit is fire. I'm on that spirit because what it has actually done, it has opened a lot of networks. I've engaged with a lot of people. I've also seen that a lot of people do have authentic stories and raw stories to tell, which is something that I am going to bring you these types of stories. But the next coming episode, as I've said, there are episodes that resonate around entrepreneurship more, guys. People who are in business, young guys, guys who've created masterpieces within a small space, guys who are thinking outside of the box, guys who want to improve themselves, and also need to start engaging with females in that part. So big ups to that, guys. So for now, I'd like to say thanks for watching. No. So yeah, guys, what's about to come now? It's 2 conversations I had with 2 young people. A guy and a lady. So yeah, these are the future we're having for you on episode 45. I hope you're gonna enjoy the conversation I had with these guys in terms of where they're at, where they're planning. So enjoy these 2 conversations that are coming next. Halala. So yes, guys, we're back with a special EP for noon. But I am lady here, Mona, we went to the digital hub. Big ups. So as we Mona now, how did she end up being here at the hub, man? You know? So this is one of those conversations where I think a lot of young guys will learn to buy in terms of what the hub really does. And for Yena, how she ended up being here. So, Manish, here we are.
Okay. So my name is Mabel, right? So now get the digital hub leadership. I was in this leadership we are supposed system. So we get 6 months, which is I get more digital hub about practical. So digital hub, yeah, related into the nada. So
where is this okay.
Okay.
For the digital hub.
Yeah.
How can fair nyana ka Mamello? Motho a tswang kae ka slake Mawupi.
Okay.
Tontonia.
So Mamello o tswa here mo Botshabelo section ya di-V. So Mamello ke motho a entseng matric le fikeng ka fella mo. So nna le sekolo.
So never wanted to pursue into things.
Yeah, I say to you more ke khala go nka etsa go nka kena sekolo ke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
So, because you believe one day you do a business without that school.
Holy shit.
Well, understand?
Yeah.
So I just thought
Yeah.
I just thought ke kale mo fast mo na na. So I think mo na digital hub ko re ke tlo bona fela go ntse na testing yana if ever ke khona go ke be le a business plan ke khona go ke tlo mo na na ke tlo yetsa e be real about yeah. So I like things man.
So meaning you've never ba looking for KFTAs here a doctor, scientist, those kind of dreams thing.
Okay, growing up, yeah, I wanted to be a doctor, give high school, give a teacher. Then after matric, reality kicks in. Okay, so anyway, there are a lot of people they have gone to school but still no job. So okay, still school is not why people are university but teaching how long doctor, no work. So why make can my own business? Once a business then it can hold somehow.
So have you started the business?
Yeah, for now, connected to suppliers for
Oh.
So yeah, then kita no until because now for next restaurant. So
nice.
I kiwa tokala mo pele mo dia pa so that the khono di boost financial.
So by the about means you buy the clothes from
Yeah.
manufacturer and then you sell
Then
it.
I sell them. Yeah, you get the extra cash.
So throughout that experience, how have you learned to maneuver in business? The clients how are you getting clients?
Okay. For the clients, if you can WhatsApp ke posted into Zaga, then more TikTok ka posted into Zaga, but by the prices that they want. So the Facebook, they're shy. O bona ke rekisa eng ke rekisa ka bokae o ka mfumana kae then o ngomela tšhelete kae ya potsa ha le tsona tla di fumana kae.
Nice. So ka cash anyway.
Yeah.
So mo kisi.
Not really. Not really.
So I want to go back to this inner area. You didn't want to pursue that in your higher education into further distance down.
Yeah.
Get that based on the experiences to born in the matter. Mara, are you not aware of at some point for you to run business successfully, you still gonna need to educate yourself about it in the business?
Yes, I still need to educate myself, but whatever, this is life. When I do didn't educate a shortcut. A shortcut.
Yeah.
So I can do get school or study a business or study accounting so that you can manage it. But starting business more scratch. You can already see that you want to shelter the possibilities so then I say hola.
It is what it is. Nah, that's good you get into the business thing. So that now get into business. Where now you want to has there been someone I into business?
No.
So you be the first one.
Never done business before, but then so how I visited so far because but say so it's like motomons or dear motomon almost. So I don't know I didn't I that they can Korean culture the first one over in business.
So now you are already set at the hub. Yeah. What's it like, man, being at the hub?
What can I say? Somehow, in terms of how manageable, like you know, young troops somehow because Lynn now to what they are pointing more the good like he would be cleanses up. Yeah, he will want to try and get it in one. Then maybe Lynn like I said, he would see something like this. Who knows? They will never talk at the computer and stuff. So it's beautiful here.
So far, the interesting thing also here at the hub. What's the most interesting?
The most interesting thing more digital happening. And I don't think I'm going to interesting with digital happen, but
how is it not coming to the podcast?
But there are so amazing people here. There are so many amazing people here because I learned to do that each and every day. Yeah, somehow I try to advise. Maybe una le tshwanetse ke etsa e leng hore high sharp then ke gotlela back on track so digital hub ke digital hub. Yeah.
So now I prefer say leadership.
Yeah.
When it comes to an end, what happens more when after I finish? Pursue a business.
Yeah, hi fella digital hub make fella this leadership. I think it looks like he concentrate on my business. He born overnight, he grow a job, he born overnight, he did plans in charge so that he born over
so the type of the type of after a while people buy for my interested to where do they get the hold of you and brands that chair so
okay.
What you say?
Okay, que ça di Air Force, All Star, yeah, que ça diaparo, Nike. You can call them. Que ça confère. Then que ça di weave, banana body frontal. Que ça di weave. So ne que ça di iPhone, but jale supply ya di iPhone ki in that little then the computers. Yeah, the computers any computer you need by the iPhone fair. So on my TikTok then on my Facebook yeah.
No, Mamela, thank you for coming on. And I hope you actually make the restaurant get closer right now. And now big ups to you, man. And you know, as about the business journey, believe you me, those Bakatanda, you chose a difficult path, but an enjoyable one if you know what you want. So big ups to you and thanks for coming on to the show, boy. Ronaldo come, what's the restaurant I'll invite much all the other guys of me. So thanks for coming here. Big ups.
Thank you.
My name is Mokar. I've been here since Jan. This year, I first came here with my friends just checking the place out because we were skating in the area. And one of the guys just told us to come like Monday. And then, because I came earlier, as I was waiting for my friend, I started doing some code that I was working on a bit earlier on Free Code Camp. I was doing a certificate in responsive web design. So one of the guys here saw me and then he said, yo, if you can create a website for us, if you can impress us, we can mentor you and give you a place here.
Wow.
And that's basically how I started coming here every day. And as time went on, I started doing CS50. I'm doing computer science right now, among other things. But it's really just a good way to keep myself occupied.
So basically what you're saying is that's coding in simple layman's terms.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, school, what happened? Did you not want to pursue university?
Well, I still want to go to varsity, just that I didn't get into varsity this year as of I matriculated last year. I just didn't want to just stay at home and do nothing, because I'm just the type of person to always want to challenge myself, to push myself past my own limits and see how far I can go. So coding is one of my passions. The other one being astronomy and physics.
So that's
Yeah.
looking at the stars.
Yeah.
So you watch the Big Bang.
Yeah, it's one of the shows I watch.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my friends did astrophysics at UCT.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm actually planning to go there myself next year if things go out.
So the plan after matric now, what was to do for university? Was it to do astrology or what was it? What was your plan to say? Now you finish matric, 2024 is coming. Before you didn't get into school, what was your thinking like that?
Well, I was just torn between two things, astronomy and physics and computers. So what I was still and am still planning to do is either do astrophysics first or computer science or computer engineering first, and then get into the other one, because I want to study quantum computers and just do the most, because I'm very interested in that field of study.
By quantum computers, what do you mean?
Okay, so we have basic computers like your laptops, your PCs. Then we have supercomputers, which are basically massive computers that take up a lot of space, a lot of energy. They have a lot of power. They're used by companies such as NASA to calculate their trajectories, to simulate physics and whatnot. They're used to, study. Quantum computers, what they basically are, they work they don't work using more bits, zeros and ones. They work using qubits, and that they work with quantum physics, of which is a bit different from classical, a lot different from classical physics actually. So how they work is usually have two bits, a 0 and a 1. They have already been predetermined, whereas a qubit is both a 0 and a 1 until it's observed. It is basically in a superposition.
No.
So in that way, instead of having maybe 4 combinations, you can have 8 with just 2 bits.
Damn.
So they could be millions of times faster. We really believe that they can really help us solve a lot of mysteries we have with the universe.
Damn, nah, that's interesting, my guy. As someone who didn't know what that meant, I'm actually saying, push it, man, push it. But now we are here at the hub, it's 2024. The plan for this year is to do what? Push this computing thing here or start your own business, correct?
As of right now, I'm still pushing this. I am obviously gonna go to varsity. That's still the plan. Pursuing my own, I'm not really much of a business.
Yeah.
I'm more of a thinker.
Yeah.
That's really how I like to define myself, because I don't know, I spend a lot of time in my head. I think a lot about a lot of abstract things that quote unquote more people don't think about.
So someone can say you're a geek.
Yes.
Yeah, as the Big Bang. But even non-geeks watch the Big Bang, because I watch the Big Bang. Yeah. But anyway, thanks man for coming up and sharing in terms of where you wanna go and why you came here. I think in terms of what you wanna do, it's something that and it's not, I cannot say it's new, but it gives a fresh perspective in terms of how actually other youth are thinking out there, because I didn't think you were into astrophysics and all of that, you know, because the only way I could relate is because of the Big Bang. I watched the Big Bang, so I know Sheldon is a string what and all of that. So thanks for coming up into our show, man, and sharing in terms of who you are, what you're doing, and also I think your story will be encouraging to a whole lot of other generations who wants to pursue other things. But my final question is for you to ask. Let's say there's someone who cares now, they're struggling to come in terms of full scale, I want to be business. What would you tell them as a guy who didn't get into school but decided to do something?
As in, they want to do something like that.
Yeah, like they're because they're like now they're watching us, they're confused in terms of age. When I didn't go to school, I want to go to school, but there's these struggles. What would you say to them in terms of thinking? They are thinking.
Well, this is how I changed my mindset as of this year, because I had to change a lot of things about myself if I wanted to improve. What I started thinking is that there's a lot of external factors affecting what you want to do, right? There's friends, there's family, there's your community, and then there's your academics. True, they can affect your academics, but only if you allow them to. That's how I think. You only allow your friends to distract you if you allow them, if you want them to. If you don't want them to distract you, if you want to stay focused, that is what you'll do. You will ignore them, stay focused. If there's an emotional stressor, you can just put it aside. That's how I'm thinking, because I've had to deal with a lot of emotional strain last year, and what I've learned from that is that you need to separate it from what you're trying to do. You just need to stay focused, and you can either deal with it later or it's not a very healthy thing to do, but that's just how I'm thinking about everything, because you need to log in, you need to do the most, because there are a lot of opportunities out there that you can grab, but you still need to work for them, and your minimum or just you doing things in general won't be enough. You need to go that extra mile to even get the smallest chance of grabbing that opportunity. So I really believe you just need to control everything around you and just manage things accordingly so that you can work in your own space and you can focus without any distractions.
Man, big ups.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that. Guys, there's not much I can add from there. I just want to say to you guys, thanks for watching today's EP. And a lot of content is coming, guys. A lot of bombs are coming. 2024, we're gonna be big. So thanks for my guy for coming on to come and share. It's never been recorded before, so it's part of his set there. So at least today, made his first recording, and he's gonna see himself. So by saying that, thanks for watching today's EP. Allah.